If he get there, we would have forgot about that.
But he hadn't even gotten that far.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that hadn't gotten that far though, Skip.
They don't play for the Dallas Cowboys.
But that's the problem.
Yep.
Y'all keep trying to.
I understand.
You and Michael think y'all people just because it's the Cowboys, everybody's supposed to just bow down.
Look, the voters in place.
We have a birthright of entitlement.
But I don't believe that this quarterback and Dak Prescott is to blame for where the Cowboys franchise has been over the last 30 damn years. He's not to blame for that.
It's always going to be the quarterback, Key. What do you mean? Like, if they win, it's going to be because of that.
No, it's not.
Why not?
For some reason, they're going to figure out a way to exclude him from the conversation if they win. There's some way, because that's the way they think.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. It is Mr. Cowboys Fan. Of course, before we proceed into the video, leave a like and subscribe. It is I, Mr. Cowboys Fan, where we talk about cowboy things. Alright, so, ladies and gentlemen, they finally did it. They finally did it. They finally did it. The truth is finally coming out in Cowboys Nation. Well, not really Cowboys Nation, but for all Cowboys fans. More importantly, the Dak Prescott haters. The truth is finally being put in place. Keyshawn Johnson and Skip Bayless just gave us the truth. The real harsh truth. You want to know why y'all hate Dak Prescott so much? It's because he plays for the Dallas Cowboys. As mentioned by Keyshawn, when Skip Bayless, when Paul Pierce, I didn't show that part, but when Paul Pierce mentioned, the fact that Dak Prescott hasn't been to a Super Bowl, hasn't won a Super Bowl, and then Skip Bayless once mentioned he hasn't even been to an NFC championship. And Paul is like, yeah, but I mean, do they raise banners for that? But yeah, Skip Bayless was like, the thing is he hasn't even gotten that far. And then Keyshawn is like, there's a lot of quarterbacks that haven't gotten that far, Skip. And then Skip Bayless wants to say, they don't play for but they don't play for the Dallas Cowboys. Thank you, Skip Bayless. Thank you, Skip Bayless. All right, for letting everybody know the truth. All right, the reason why a lot of y'all Dak haters, all right, love to hate on him and how he hasn't done this and he hasn't done that, it's because he plays for the Dallas Cowboys. I know a quarterback, all right. No, actually, I know multiple quarterbacks in the National Football League who have struggled with postseason success. And those quarterbacks are Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Even Deshaun Watson, when he was in Houston, he struggled with playoff success. Jalen Hurts, you take away what happened in 2022, he can't seem to get past the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So there's a lot of quarterbacks. Tua Tagovailoa has struggles apparently in the playoffs. But that's the point. Nobody is talking about those quarterbacks because they don't play for the Dallas Cowboys. And I just want to, bow to Skip Bayless. I would like to thank him and congratulate him for finally mentioning, all right, and giving the full on truth on why y'all hate Dak Prescott so much. It's because he plays for the Dallas Cowboys. If he played for anybody else, I promise you he wouldn't get this much hate. He would not get this much hate. We would be talking about Dak Prescott as one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the NFL, instead of calling him the most overrated player in the NFL. That's the video that I showed, that was actually about that. Dak Prescott being the most overrated player on the Dallas Cowboys. And, it's just not fair. The dude has had I wouldn't even say pretty good. He's had a really good, 8-year career with the Dallas Cowboys ever since he took over for Tony Romo. Dak Prescott has been one of the most winning quarterbacks in the NFL. Since he took over, he has been one of the most winning quarterbacks in the NFL. You just got to go look at the facts, man. He has. Bro, there's not a lot of quarterbacks, not even Josh Allen, because I know it was his rookie year, but even he started off with a miserable record in his rookie year. Dak Prescott from the jump, his rookie year, got us to a 13-3 season. Had a 13-3 record. So from the start, he has shown his ability that he can win. From the start, he has been a very good quarterback, and knows how to win games. It's just postseason has, of course, eluded him, but he's not the only one. Peyton Manning had postseason struggles early in his career before he finally managed to put it all together. So why is it that Dak Prescott has to get this much hate and has to have this much pressure be put on him for what just a normal thing that all quarterbacks have to have on their resume? Win a Super Bowl, have playoff success. Why does he have to have so much pressure on him, despite the fact that we know an all-time great quarterback that had those postseason struggles early in his career? Well, there is a long-time quarterback, long time ago. Well, not that much long time ago, but a while back ago, before Dak Prescott, the aforementioned Tony Romo, who people, put so much pressure on him because he couldn't get it done. And so people were putting pressure on him because he plays for the Dallas Cowboys, one of, if not the most storied franchise in the NFL. And when you come into this organization and you're the quarterback, the franchise quarterback, they expect you to win the team a Super Bowl. And unfortunately, it just hasn't happened. It didn't happen for him. It currently hasn't happened for Dak. But Dak still has time to rewrite his resume. Unfortunately, Tony Romo had injury issues that derailed his opportunity very much in his prime to be able to handle that. But Dak Prescott doesn't have any injury history. Well, he doesn't have injury issues. You know, for the most part, he's been a fairly healthy quarterback who has been on the field every Sunday. You know, I don't have to worry about Dak Prescott as far as whether or not he can have enough time, long enough of a career to still be able to make his mark. What Tony Romo unfortunately couldn't do after only 9 seasons. Unfortunately, his body just broke down and he couldn't do it anymore. So Dak still has time to rewrite his legacy, rewrite his resume. All right. So, and Keyshawn, as you saw, also mentioned how, because here's the thing, as you saw what Paul Pierce said, you know, but he's the quarterback, you know. And I said this before, bro, can we stop making wins and losses a quarterback statistic? That is a team statistic. We always talk about how it all starts and ends with the quarterback, but that doesn't have to be the case. So you mean to tell me that Josh Allen in the 2021 AFC divisional playoff game against the Chiefs, when he threw for over 400 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 picks, they lost in overtime because the defense allowed Mahomes and the Chiefs to go 75 yards and score 42 points in that game? That's supposed to be the quarterback's fault? People gotta stop this mess, bro. People gotta stop this mess. It's not always the quarterback. It should all start and end with the team. So either way, Paul Pierce was talking about, but he's the quarterback, Key. And at the end of the day, he gets all the praise when they win. And so it should always be an equivalent. He should get all the praise when they lose as well and when they fail. You know, and Keyshawn mentioned, of course, in the clip but that's the thing though. They always Cowboy Cowboy fans, Dak haters out there like Skip Bayless, all right, will always find a way to not give him the credit. They will always do that. Man, forget the regular season, man. Because even when my quarterback goes out there and he throws for 300 yards and 4 or 5 touchdowns, and he puts the team on his back to win the game like he did against Seattle, people will still find a way to not give him the credit. And that's an issue, ladies and gentlemen, a big issue. You know, I mean, it is what it is, man. I just wanted to talk about that. And Keyshawn and Skip Bayless finally cracked the code and gave us the full instilled information that we needed, that I needed in particular, to provide to y'all to help you understand why Dak Prescott gets so much hate, why Dak haters, criticize him so much. It's because he plays for the Dallas Cowboys. Those other quarterbacks that have, struggles in the postseason, they don't play for the Dallas Cowboys. Like Skip mentioned, he was in that thing. Of course, we know Skip Bayless was only really, he wasn't mentioning that to support Dak Prescott, why he gets hated on so much. He was just saying that because, look, you know what you signed up for playing for the Dallas Cowboys. It's almost like that's basically kind of what he meant when he explained that. But again, in a sense, he basically explained to us everything that we needed to know. Is that, of course, Dak Prescott plays for the Dallas Cowboys. So he's going to get a little bit more harsher treatment and more, more strict treatment than other quarterbacks, because those other quarterbacks don't play for the Dallas Cowboys. So he's always going to have harsh and strict criticism until he can win a Super Bowl. If he played for anybody else, it would be a different story. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me talk briefly about Ceedee Lamb not being at camp. All right, so first of all, Ceedee Lamb is back in Dallas, but that's the problem. He's in Dallas right now instead of at Oxnard. So, bro, Steven, I'm not going to even say Jerry, because Jerry is probably like partially a part of this as far as, the contracts and whatever. It's Steven that is not senile and is at the front desk having to make all these moves, and, put pen on paper. So Steven needs to get this settled. He needs to get this done. I made a prediction that Ceedee Lamb was going to, get paid sometime in July. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approximately a week away until July is over. All right. Steven, you gotta put pen and paper down, Holmes. You got to, man. This should have been taken care of. Now he's not at camp, and look, it's like I don't want to make that big of a deal about this, but I'm just saying this is absurd. I am so annoyed how other owners, other front offices know how to, treat their players, their star players, know how to give them their money as soon as possible, especially when they're not under contract. Like, bro, Ceedee Lamb just played his 4th year. He's just under the 5th year option right now. All right. So technically, he's done with his rookie scale contract. Technically. All right. They just have him on the 5th year option right now. So, like, the fact of the matter is, I already made that video earlier. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Ceedee Lamb and Micah Parsons for I said Ceedee Lamb for AP Offensive Player of the Year and Micah Parsons for AP Defensive Player of the Year. But I meant you go look at the numbers. Go look at the production. Ceedee Lamb has done enough to deserve a new contract. And I know several days ago, I made a video about how I don't know if Ceedee Lamb is truly all bought in to winning a ring as much as we want him to. But at the end of the day, bro, I also said that this is also the Joneses' fault too. And right now, Ceedee's not at camp, and I just have to lean right now for the time being on the side of, Ceedee. All right. And I gotta blame Steven for right now. Because, bro, this should have been taken care of, dog. This should have been taken care of. This should have been taken care of in freaking June. No, 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 no. This should have been taken care of in May, when Justin Jefferson had not gotten his contract yet. But no, you continue to want to sit on your hands. All right. But you continue to sit on your hands, not trying to get it done. And look, the fact of the matter is that we're hearing positive talks about Dak Prescott's contract, but what good is it going to make for Dak Prescott getting his new contract if he doesn't have his buddy, his partner in crime, 88, out there during camp, bro? What good does it make? So I just wanted to talk about that briefly, because, it's got to be done, ladies and gentlemen. It's got to be done. Let's talk about Trevon Diggs being on the PUP list. So Trevon Diggs is on the PUP list, ladies and gentlemen. I kind of feared this would happen, I had a good, I had a good feeling, a promising feeling that Trevon Diggs would be okay with how early he got, injured, with how early he got injured, just after our week 2 game against the Jets. As early as he got injured, I thought that he would, still be healthy enough to start training camp. But unfortunately, he's going to start off on the, active PUP list or something like that. He's going to be on the active PUP list to start training camp. And look, this is a little bit concerning, but not too concerning. The fact of the matter is, back in 2021, before training camp, Amari Cooper was on the PUP list. Amari Cooper was on the PUP list for a minute. For training camp, he was on the PUP list for a minute. And then, he did eventually get healthy enough and came back and returned to the field. But obviously he had a little bit more disappointing of a season than we normally expect. He had a little bit over 800 yards receiving that year. Not his typical 1,000 yards that he normally sets. So, yeah, Trevon being on the active PUP list is a bit concerning. But like I said, this is what I feared the most, is that Trevon wouldn't be good to go to start camp. Because we've been down this road before with a Dallas Cowboy player when tearing his ACL. All right. And that player, from my understanding, is apparently retired, or he's on the retired reserved list at least. And that player was Michael Gallup. He tore his ACL, and we were told that he would be ready for the season. I don't know if they said he would be ready for training camp, but they did say that he would be ready to start the season, and obviously he wasn't. He, man, that dude wasn't ready until week 4 of the season, and even then he wasn't ready. All right, like Kevin Hart said, he wasn't ready. So either way, yeah, that's what I fear the most, is that we were getting positive, comments that Trevon would, possibly be back to start training camp. And, and I had promising, hope, and confidence that he would, be able to start training camp. And here we are, and he apparently is on the active PUP list. So this is what I was I was a little afraid of. Not gonna lie, I was afraid of this a little bit. Now, the silver lining is that DeMarvion Overshown, another player who tore his ACL very early in the season, during preseason, he is not on the PUP list. He will be on the field for training camp. And that's good. Really good. John Stevens, another player who got, who tore his ACL later on that game. So, both of those guys are going to be healthy and good to go to start training camp. So that's good. But probably the most pivotal piece of this puzzle, that it's very critical that he is, good to go, locked and loaded, is apparently not locked and loaded right now. And this is what we were afraid of, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we were afraid of, because guess what? I hate to be that bearer of bad news, or just that person of a little bit of negativity, but here's what's going to happen. This is going to probably, I hope not, but this is just my hunch. This is just the hunch that I'm getting, that this is going to linger throughout training camp, that he might be ready in the middle of training camp. He might be ready towards the tail end. And then he's still on the PUP list. Preseason, he's still, unable to perform. And then the week 1 comes around, and we're thinking, all right, he's finally going to be good to go. And he's apparently still not good to go. That is my worry. That is my hunch. I sure hope that I get proven wrong. That's, of course, what we all want, is to be wrong, especially with, situations like this. But, I really do hope I'm wrong, man. I really do hope that within the next week or so, we'll find out that he is finally, healthy and good to go to get on the field. But, I mean, we just got to wait and see what happens, And by the way, we will re-sign back Stephon Gilmore, because with the way this is going right now, we will re-sign Stephon Gilmore. We will. All right. And I don't think you got to pay him too much money, in my opinion. All right. You should be able to bring him back on a pretty raw deal. So yeah, he will be back. All right, he will be back because Trevon, possible he might not be ready to start the season. But hey, if this is what he needs, hey, as they say, time heals all wounds. If this is what he needs as much time as possible to recover and get back to his 100%. Then, because people understand that it's not just about the physical part of it, it's the mental part of it too. All right. These guys got to be mentally, they got to be able to trust their body to be able to do like what they were able to do before the injury. So, and at the end of the day, hey man, get well soon. Literally, get well soon. All right. Speedy recovery because, whatever time that, how much time that he needs to really regain back that 100% form, then I guess that's what he's going to need. And yeah, like I said, get ready for us to re-sign Stephon Gilmore and have to replace him for a little bit. But that's going to also allow some of these young guys, especially like Seatbelt, Kalen Carson, might, give him some action, give him some playing time on the field. I'm real excited to see what that has in store. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Let me know your thoughts, in the comments down below. Your thoughts and opinions on the whole situation as far as, Keyshawn and Skip Bayless basically giving the harsh truth about Dak Prescott and the needed hate that he gets. CeeDee Lamb not at camp, a bit concerning, not really, but a little. And Trevon Diggs being on the active pup list, pretty concerning. Not gonna lie, pretty concerning. And this is going to definitely, spark the engine for the Cowboys to want to bring back Stephon Gilmore for insurance policies. And believe me, that's not a bad insurance policy to have, but either way, with that being said, to all my audience, to all of Cowboys Nation, this has been Late Night Talk, episode 28, and we are out.